In order to, a chapter is all about lines and angles. Lines and angle. I don't know what fascination you all have to sit so much on that corner. How can I can't write this way. These sides are free. You can push this table this side and sit from this side. Can you see from there? Lines and angles. So let's talk about a line. Geometric impression which extends infinitely on both sides. This is a line, right? I hope you know this. Cut out a portion of it, then it is known as a segment. Okay. Right. 1 minute. हाँ ये पापियों का क्लास है ना और नहीं तो क्या What do you want? Okay. Cut out a portion of it, it becomes what? A line segment. A line segment has got two endpoints. A line goes infinitely on either side. And then if one side has got a terminated side and the other side goes on infinitely, that's called a ray. I hope you're familiar with it. Right? So this is a line. This is called a line segment. Okay. And this is a ray. Now, when we talk about line segment and ray, then a line is actually comprising of infinite points, and those points are called collinear. I hope you know the meaning of the word collinear. Linear means straight, that's why you say linear equations, and collinear means points which lie on the same line. Okay, Nitya, you will sleep. None like this. Straight, back straight. Line segment. Now, the chapter is all about lines and angles. So the next thing should come, an angle should be born. An angle is born when we have either two lines, a line and a line segment, or two rays, or combination of either of them. Okay. I don't know why this happens in your class. Now, yeah. So let's say we'll now start about two lines which are intersecting. Two lines can intersect only once. I hope you are clear with this. Two lines can intersect only once. Whenever two lines intersect, there will be a point of intersection. Say this is my point of intersection. And I'm now naming them as, say, OA, B, and I'm naming this as C and D, right? This will create the formation of an angle. We are going by very basics. This will create the formation of an angle, and this is what is known as an angle. So if you see in normal way, an angle is always measured anti-clockwise from your base. Whatever is your base, from there you will measure anti-clockwise. What I mean by that, the angle is measured in this manner. If you see your protector also, it will be increasing from 0 degree, 10, 20, 30. So this is your angle measurement. So let's say this is Y, this is X, and this is O. So this is my angle XOY. Is this much clear? Angles can be acute angles if they are measuring from 0 to 90 degree. At 90, right angles. More than 90 and less than 180, obtuse. At 180, it's a straight angle, and beyond 180, it's called a reflex. I hope these things are known by you. Okay, fine, good. Now, this point O will be known as the vertex. And the plural of vertex is known as vertices, right? These are known as my arms. Arm, or maybe also known as side. Clear? Say suppose the formation is such that I have another one arm out here, and I call this arm as, say, I call this XY, say this is Z. Then in this case, OY is my common arm, right? And the common arm and angle XOY and angle ZOY or YOZ, these will be known as adjacent angles. Adjacent angles will always share a common vertex. Clear? No issues. Good. So when two lines cross over each other, you will have a vertex and you will have angle formation on both sides. You will have angle formations on both sides. So if I call this as angle 1 and if I call this as angle 2, this formation 1 and 2, this is known as vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. And similarly, we'll have an angle 3 and we'll have an angle 4. Now, 3 and 4. They are known as vertically opposite angles. Is this much clear? Very basics. Okay. I hope you are familiar with the concept of supplementary and linear. Is the concept clear with you? Okay. Still, let's dive into that also. Supplementary angles versus linear pair. A slight confusion is there. In both the cases, the sum of the angles will be equal to 180 degree. Here also the sum of the angles will be equal to 180 degree. However, in the case of linear pair, it will be based out of a common platform. So if this angle is alpha, you know how to write alpha? Then this angle is 180 minus alpha. Now this is a linear pair. A linear pair, first comes is linear straight line. On that the bifurcation will happen. Whereas when you talk about supplementary angles, they need not be on the same base. They may be two angles who add up, two different angles who add up and give you how much? 180 degree. Let's say I have an angle of this sort and I have another angle which is say like this, right? And say this measures 150 degree and this measures 30 degree. Then also these two will be known as supplementary. Addition will give you 180, but they are not born on the same platform. Here the birth is on the same platform. So I hope you are clear with what is linear pair and what is what? Supplementary. Okay. Then comes the next one, which is known as complementary angles. Complementary angles. In complementary angles, the formation is actually 90 degree formation. Okay. We'll have a complementary angles. The base formation is always 90 degree. 90. And then you draw an arm wherever you want. So in that case, what do we get? If this angle is alpha, then this angle is 90 minus alpha, and they will be known as my complementary angles. So is complementary clear? Supplementary clear? Linear pair clear? Very good. Shall we go ahead? Okay. Okay. Next. Now let's take two intersecting lines. Two intersecting lines, and see, once again, put some angle measurements, angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. Let's say this line is L and this line is M. Okay. This line is L and this line is M. So I say consider, you know, and line L. Let's consider line L. If you consider line L, you can write 1 added with 2 L should be equal to 180 degree. Why? Because this is a linear pair formation. Do you agree or not? Right? And similarly, if you consider line M, then you can again say 1 plus 4 is equal to 180 degree. That's also a linear pair. Agreed? Right hand side equal to right hand side means left hand side should be equal to left hand side. जगह नहीं हो रहा क्या लिखने के लिए? अब भी क्या थोड़ा सा उस टूल को पुश करके थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट हो जाना. No, there's one stool unnecessary. So if you check on these two, we can now write 1 plus 2 can be equated to 1 plus 4. 1 plus 2 can be equated to 1 plus 4. So the 1 and 1's cancel each other, which gives you 2 is equal to 4. A very important observation. These are nothing but vertically opposite angles. And in same way, you should be also able to prove that 1 is similarly, double Ly means similarly, 1 will be equal to 3, which are also vertically opposite angles. So our conclusions so far are what? Number 1, we understood what is a linear pair. And we also understood what are vertically opposite angles. In this case, the relation that we look for is equality. In this case, the relation we look for is the sum is equal to 180 degree. Any questions so far? Understood? Very good. So linear pairs, these are all the weapons that are there with you, and with this only you have to win that match, whichever will be the question, whichever will come up. So linear pair is known to you, vertically opposite angles, and also remember the angle sum property of a triangle. This you know from your previous classes is how much? 180 degree, right? Fine. So let's go ahead, shall we? Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, and we talk about now something called parallel lines. Parallel lines. Two lines are said to be parallel. Okay, if you have parallel lines, the way we represent parallel lines is you draw a double arrow on one line and you draw a double arrow on another line. It clearly means that two lines are parallel to each other. Understood? In parallel line, the shortest distance, what is the shortest distance between two lines? The perpendicular distance. Imagine them as railway track, then that wooden slipper is actually the shortest distance. The shortest distance remains constant throughout, the distance of separation between the two lines. So our next, every finding is on, and this is something which will be with you till you learn mathematics. You should know all the findings which we have done in different classes and we keep doing. And a line that actually cuts across two parallel lines is known as a transversal. So this line will be known as a transversal. Transversal. And let's say this is my line L and this is my line M. And when this transversal actually cuts across two parallel lines, then you will find a plethora of a whole, what do you call, the box, Pandora's box will open up of lot of relations and lot of findings. Now question is, when we are doing this parallel lines, we actually draw the parallel lines in a manner that it is parallel to the horizontal of my board or your book. But in reality, you want some scale? Kuch chahiye beta? So in reality, what happens, these parallel lines, he's much better if he's in the class. So these parallel lines will be actually maybe in slanted manner. You have to hunt for this, what do you call, formation. It may not be that it will be so easily visible to you, but it will be there. You have to hunt for this formation. For example, if you see a parallelogram, all of us know what's, or if you see this trackpad, here also I'm seeing two parallel lines and a transversal. If the bigger horizontals, if the lengths are parallel lines, then the breadth is also a transversal. And if the breadths are, these two are parallel lines, the length is a transversal. You see two transversals. Parallelogram also you can see two parallel, two transversal. Again, these two parallel, then the other two are transversal. So you have to hunt for that formation. Cat will be present, but have you seen sometimes people shade their dog in such a manner that it looks like a zebra? So it will appear like a zebra, but it is actually a dog. So you have to hunt for that dog. Okay? So let's put up some angle measurements out here, or numbers to angles. So angle 1, angle 2, and all numberings are usually done always in clockwise or anti-clockwise manner. So this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 8. Okay, so 8. Right. First of all, you try to understand there is something called exterior and there is something called interior. Exterior is anything external to the two parallel lines. On the top surface, right on the bottom surface. Interior is anything that is enclosed between the, not inside, the better English is enclosed between the two parallel lines. Okay? So let's first go by interior. So if you see a combination, I will come now. 3 will be equal to 5 always, and these are known as alternate interior angles are always equal. And you need to remember this till your grade 8 or higher mathematics, engineering, whatever you go. And similarly, you will also find that angle 4 will be equal to angle 6. Angle 4 will be equal to angle 6. Okay? Angle 4 will be equal to angle 6. Now I'll just do the proof here. I'll keep wiping that. Okay, very easy. 1 is equal to 3. 1 is equal to 3. And how do you make this equal to this? How do you make these two equal? That though, but why are the alternate interior angles equal? Why are the alternate interior angles equal? That is also close. Vertically opposite is 1 and 3. 1 and 3 are vertically opposite. And 2 plus 4 is vertically opposite. Something you're missing. 1 and 4 will add up and give you how much? 180. That's fine. So that way. But how do you find that this is equal to this? Which one are parallel? L and M are parallel. There's no complementary in any parallel. How do the alternate interior angles become equal?
5 plus 6 is 180.
How do they become equal? Yeah. How do you get that these two are equal? I don't know, yaar. Every time it keeps pestering you. It just came in this. This OBS is a ruckus software. You know, every day they will release some updates and this nonsense will be created. And equally good is a Mac. It only every day they have some updates. Okay. Parallel. How do you get that? See, the idea is, look at, this is a parallel line, right? L and M are parallel. If L and M are parallel, then don't you think angle 1 and angle 5 should always be equal? It's a parallel line. Means I can straight away push this line out here. Then 1 and 5 should always, see, it's something like, see, it's like this, and you draw a line, say you draw a line which is parallel to this. Again, you draw another parallel line. Again, you draw another parallel line. So the first thing that you should study is this. These are equal always. So 1 is always equal to 5. In this case, what do we call 1 and 5? We call 1 and 5 as corresponding angles. On the right, corresponding angles means you can just shift this and they should merge one with the other.
It came back automatically.
No, that's what it comes back, but it is irritating for one who is attending online, right? It will come back here, but it won't come back on the Zoom screen. Because there it goes as a bar. I don't know. Maybe changing the place. Is this understood? So first thing that you should know before these things also is that 1 will always be equal to 5. 1 will be equal to 5. Similarly, 4 will be equal to 8. Right? Similarly, 2 will be equal to 6. And 3 will be equal to 7. These are known as corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. And these are always equal. Is the story clear now? Okay. So what do I say? I say 1 is equal to 5. 1 is also equal to 3 by vertically opposite. 1 equal to 5, 1 equal to 3, which means 3 should be equal to 5. That's how the alternate interior angle concept comes. Is it clear now? Okay. Then we come to the exterior. If that be the case, then 2 should also be equal to 8 and 1 should be equal to 7. In this way, I will call them alternate exterior angles, and they are also equal. So only in case of alternates, exterior and interior, the equality clause comes up. How will you prove this? Sir, 2 is equal to 6 corresponding. 6 and 8 are vertically opposite. That means 2 is equal to 8. Clear? Very good. Change of place is working so far. Okay. Is this clear? Right. So what all we are done with? We are done with alternate interior. We are done with alternate exterior. We are done with corresponding. Now there is something called co-interior. Co-interior. Co-interior are 4 and 5, 3 and 6. So 4 and 5 and 3 and 6 are called, they will be supplementary. So we will say 4 plus 5 will be equal to 180, and similarly 3 plus 6 will be equal to 180. In some books they will be called as consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles are supplementary, and in some books the language will be changed as co-interior angles are supplementary. Similarly, that's very easy to prove. This plus this is 180, this plus this is 180, right? So right hand sides are equal, so left hand side should be equal. Again, in left hand side, this is equal to this is equal to this, which will abolish, and you get them. Similarly, consecutive exterior angles should also be supplementary, because they are ultimately parts of linear pair only. So what do you write for them? We will write, what do you write? We write 1 plus 8 should be equal to 180 degree, and similarly 2 plus 7 should be equal to 180 degree. And here we will write co-exterior angles are supplementary. That's all the gyan that we need. Apart from this, you also need the gyan of vertically opposite angle. You also need the gyan of that sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Okay? Shall we go ahead? This much done, copied. Yeah. Can I go ahead? Okay. Somebody says something. So let's see a truth which we used to believe so many days. So let me say that this is, I'm writing it here, okay? This is an angle A, angle B, and angle C. You have so far been memorizing angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Now how to prove that this is 100? Anybody knows how to prove it? Okay, quite fine. That is the truth. How do you know? So what do? We actually draw a line parallel to BC. We'll draw a line parallel to BC which touches the vertex at A. Draw a line parallel to BC which touches the vertex at A. Clear? Children? Okay. In that case, we have formation of an angle, say alpha. We have formation of an angle called beta out here. Clear? Since that is a straight line, can I not write alpha plus A plus beta is equal to 180 degree? Instead of alpha, I will write B. A I retain as A. Instead of beta, I will write C. Why? That's what I said. That in these questions, be very careful that this formation you have to hunt. They are alternate interior angles. Because by construction, this was made parallel to this. Your mind always thinks that two parallel lines will be drawn in this manner. Stepler maro. So yawn kyun kar rahe ho? This and this are alternate interior angles, correct? Those and the. So now B plus A plus C 180. That's what you wanted to prove. So your mind has to look for that formation. The formation might not come as the way you are thinking. See, every time it's something like, have you seen the world map? When you are a student in India, how do you see the world map? You always see the world map with India at the center, the Middle East and Gulf countries on the left hand side, Singapore and all on the right hand side. Now, if you are in America, they will make the world map in such a manner that USA will be in the center. It's the perception. Globe is uniform for all countries. And do you understand? You won't see the world map with India at the center. Just because you are an Indian, you see India at the center. An Australian guy will make a world map with Australia at the center, for whom Singapore is west. For us, Singapore is east. For them, Singapore is west. So that formation you have to think. This was a classic example. I thought you should be able to identify, but aise hi sab honge. All problems will be involving this sort of. So we need no more gyan. So in order to progress with all problems, you need to know the concept of vertically opposite angle. Here, what do we look for? Equality. Okay. Then we need the concept of sum of angles of a triangle. Here, what do we look for? 180 degree. Then we look for linear pair. These are the ammunitions which will go to the battlefield. Here also we find 180. And the transversal story. So here we have what? Pandora's box. Many things. Based on all these things, you should be able to solve all problems. Shall we? This is the Gyan. Acha. Are you familiar with angle bisector? Angle bisector. Bread butter नहीं बनाना है, angle bisector बनाना है. आजा. Let's see an angle bisector also. Let's say you have a formation of an angle like this. Then an angle bisector is a ray which will actually start from the common vertex and will bisect this angle. So if this angle is alpha, this angle will also be alpha. And when you say angles are equal, then you should symbolically show. So one arc means these two are equal. Say for example, say we have, say for example, let's say I have a quadrilateral, okay? Let's say I have a quadrilateral like this. And in this quadrilateral, I am drawing two angle bisectors. This one, and I'm drawing an angle bisector from here also, this one. Okay? Now see, this angle is not equal to this angle. Cat, dog. Cat, dog. Kitten equal to kitten. Puppy equal to puppy. Kitten and puppy are not equal. I hope you have understood the concept. Symbols should be different. Got it? If you put, now this clearly tells me that this line is an angle bisector for this vertex. This line is an angle bisector for this vertex. Don't put the same sign. How do you say sides are equal? Say suppose this is an isosceles type of a quadrilateral. These two sides are equal. Then we'll put a double here, or a double or a single, whatever you want. Understood? If this side was parallel to this side, then I would have put a double arrow, double arrow. So these symbols you should know. Further, do you know the meaning of this symbol? Therefore, do you know the meaning of this symbol? This is since. This stands for since. Okay. This stands for or it stands for, because geometry does not make you write so many things, implies that. This stands for therefore. If you think you knew, very good. If you think you have some confusion, please write, because I am writing. This stands for similarly. Similarly. This stands for parallel. This stands for not parallel. This stands for if and only if. This stands for, I taught you all last year, you forgot. A V for every. For every. This stands for belongs to. ये जानना चाहिए. Suddenly any book will use and you will be pondering and scratching your head. What is this all about? Okay. There's a comparative law. I am parallel to X. I am parallel to Y. That means X and Y are parallel to each other. I hope you understand this. Okay. Now some languages. Let me see whether you follow these languages or not. An angle is 14 times more than its complement. So there is an angle One minute. There's an angle and there is a complement. Okay, we will not write it. Let's, if you want, you can close your eyes and listen. An angle is 14 times more than its complement. So there is an angle and its complement who are being compared with a relation of 14 times. Angle and complement. The first relation is angle and complement should add up to 90 degree. I am 14 times more of him. So if he is x, I am 14x. If we add us, then it is 15x, which is 90. 15 6 are 90. X value is 90. So if he is 90, what do you call 15 6. So if he is 6, then you become 14 times of 6. So you are 84. Clear? So how do you decode? So these are very easy thing. Okay. Measure of an angle is twice its supplementary angle. Measure of its supplementary. So it's a comparison between me and my supplementary. Me and my supplementary add up to 180. And I am twice of my supplementary. So if my supplementary is x, I am how much? 2x. So if we add both of us, we become 3x. 3x now equals to 180. That means x should be equal to 60. So if that angle is 60, I am 120. So you understand? ये सब easy रहता है. अच्छा, if somebody says that the angles of a, okay, one more thing you should know, since you have come from grade 8, quadrilateral formation. What is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral? 360. Because a quadrilateral is, after all, what? Your mom made breakfast for you as sandwiches. She took the bread and cut it into 2 triangles. Each triangle is 180, 180. Join them, it becomes 360. Clear? So a quadrilateral. Now in that, if I tell you that the angles of a quadrilateral are in the ratio of 1:2:3:4. So any ratio problem, okay, make it like this. This is Mishka madam and this is me. Let's say I am 48 and let's say Mishka is 16. Then our age is 16. Our ratio is how much? 1:3. That does not mean Mishka is 1 year old and I'm 3 years old. Not that, right? So there is something hidden for her and hidden for me, but whatever is hidden is common. X, X. Whenever a ratio problem comes, an X comes into this. So if 4 angles are in the ratio of 1:2:3:4, the angles are actually 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. So 3 plus 4 is how much? 7x. 7x plus 2x, 9x plus 1x, 10x. 10x is adding up to 360. So each x is 36. And on the basis of that, you can allocate. Okay? So you know that. So do you have the textbooks with you? No, if you forget next time, please forget to come to class also. Maths textbook.
The guy.
Yeah. I think we read this only. We don't read something like Hardy Boys or Enid Blyton series, you know. And no one brought. Nitya also didn't bring. Left it at home, laying eggs. How can you come to the classroom without books here? Now, someday I'll do that. There's one book, I see one child has got a book. I'll send everyone home and I'll retain her in the class. And then I'll click a picture before the class and after the class. And then I'll send it as the Sunday menu. So that when you enter home, you are greeted, Om Jai Jagdish. Right. Chalo. So some easy problems. Let us try out. And if there is some problem which is coming up that is tough. This chapter I won't spend more than maximum 2 classes, not more than that. So I have a combination like this. I hope you should be able to do these problems. 2x, 4x. Is this type of problem solvable by you? Yeah, very good. That's why, sir, we don't bring books, because it is very easy for us. Okay. Yeah, great. I really appreciate great findings. And are these sort of problems solvable by you? Problem like a 2y, 3y, and 5y. You should be able to solve. Yeah, all of them adds up. Okay. Okay, so these are all easy problems up till example 7. I don't see anything that uses heads. Okay, let's see one more combination. This is this, and you have this, and you have this. Just try and see. This will be a symbolic talk. Okay, symbolic talk. Will you be able to solve?
Yeah.
Huh? But this is opposite rays and this and this. But the problem is angle AOC. Okay, so let me make this as angle A. Let me make this as O, and let me make this as C. Let me make this as D and B. So I'm giving you angle AOC plus angle BOD is 90 degree. AOC plus angle BOD is equal to 90 degree. Okay, the figure is, don't, figures are not to be scaled. You have to find out what is the value of this angle. You can find out. These also you can do. So that's what I said. It's a very easy chapter. So exercise 8.2, which is all these ding 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 ding, you should be able to do. And these are very much questions which can come in your first 20 questions, which are 1 mark question. There they will put up these questions. Either you will be wrong or you will be right. Okay. So now let's go to the second exercise and let's see some problems out here. 8.2 के solved examples कुछ देखते हैं. Okay. Now here we will be using all our knowledge. Okay. Now in some problems figures might be given to you, in some figures might not be given to you. You are lucky that the first problem the figure is given to you. So you can, what you can do in your classwork right now, just draw the figure, and in geometry when you're doing at home, do not open your fair copy at once. Always have a scribble pad, your last year's unused book, and a pencil. It's like solving a puzzle. First solve the puzzle in rough. Once you know that you have cracked it, then you can write it properly. So here in our classes, 1 or 2 problems we will do stepwise. Rest will solve as a puzzle, whether we are able to solve the puzzle or not. Okay. So you should draw the figure. The figure formation is like this. Okay, the naming is, the rays are AB, CD and QP. AB, then we have a CD, and we have QP. Okay, whenever you name it, now this is, nobody will deduct your marks. If you have named it as AB, then actually it's a line which is extending infinitely on both sides. So how do you know where is A? So whenever we name these, we should always give a point. That point is actually, A is a point on this infinitely extending line. D is a point on this line. समझ में आया? Okay. Now, I am not writing the question. I will solve this problem in the proper order. All problems of geometry, yeah, saying something. Now, all problems of geometry should start in this order. You should have a given, to prove, then proof. But if you are supporting it with some construction, then given, to prove, construction, followed by proof. So this is the order. The order should always be like this: given, then comes to prove, what are you proving up, and then construction. Construction we write like this: if any, means it's not necessary, and then comes proof. This is the order that we follow. When you write given, try to be as mathematical as possible. Sir, what are you trying to mean by as mathematical? OA is the bisector of blah blah, but in given I will write so many angles, that angle is equal to that angle. The mathematical interpretation of an English statement. So like this question says, in the given figure, just listen. QP, could you locate QP? OP, could you locate OP here? OP, O is the center. Okay. Could you locate OP as I'm reading? Just locate OP. OP and OQ are respectively, respectively what should be dealt with lot of respect in mathematics. Nitya, again this, leave that. Respectively, Monu and Sonu are the 2 sons of Mohan and Sohan respectively. Monu, Sonu, Mohan, Sohan. That means Monu is mapped with Mohan, Sonu is mapped with Sohan. That is important. are respectively the bisectors of angle BOD and angle AOC. So this is an English statement. When I write my given data, I will write it mathematically. So what does the English statement say? That OP is bisector of this, right? So when you draw your diagram, you can actually put a symbol like this. So I write, so what do I write in given beta? Angle DOP is equal to angle POB. Yes or no? And second, they have said that OP and OQ. Now here you don't have the right to put a single because you don't know whether the angles are equal or not. So we will write angle AOQ is equal to angle what beta? Yeah, COQ. Fine. Let's see what the question. After that it says show that, means no more given data is there. So I write to prove. Once you do this, your ma'am or your sir will feel so happy. ये बच्चा कितना सुंदर लिखता है. Even if you do some error somewhere, we are all human beings. We are not robot. At that time, that mercy factor comes. Yes, this child does. Maybe due to overlooking, something has happened. If I am a teacher, I'll grant. Because if somebody serves something cleanly, I have to give marks for that extra effort that child has taken. Because your classwork is all about the way you are presenting your work also. That is very important, how you are presenting your work. You might think that my teacher knows that this is parallel. No, your teacher is ignorant. Your teacher knows by the way you are writing, chronology. Otherwise, you might have copied it from some student also. Presentation is very important. And you will excite that emotional quotient of that teacher. Somebody writes it so beautiful. I don't know, some Arihant sample books, if you see, old or Oswald's, they somehow used to earlier get hold of Topper's copies. And in the first pages, you will see Topper's answer script. And they will pick up, not that every topper is good in handwriting, they'll pick up those copies where the child has written with the underlining and all. So, because I'm a teacher, examiner, I might have fought with my wife, traffic jam, did not find my socks at the proper place. Then I went up and your copy landed on me. How do I start checking? I'm a human being. Na? Irritation will be there, yes or no? And if the first copy is good, like as I always say, if the first class goes good, then the second class automatically goes good. We cannot control our emotions. So please present properly. Don't just write thinking you are not doing any mercy on somebody by writing in whatever manner you want. Please write it legibly and correctly. Right. Now show that rays OP and OQ are in the same straight line. Means OP and OQ are in the same straight line. So basically, same straight line means you should prove angle QOP should be equal to 180 degree. Look here, the English statement says prove that OP and OQ are in the heights. Prove that OP and OQ are in the same straight line. But there has to be a mathematical. You can't say same straight line is an abstract statement. The mathematical statement is the angle should be proved as 180 degree. So should we be able to prove it? Now, how do you prove it?
Is QOC and DOP.
Which one? Are vertically opposite, okay. How does that help you? How does that help you? Nothing is a straight line here. This is a straight line, but you can't start with that. That is what you have to prove. What is the sum of all angles across a point? 360. So one thing we know that all of them should add up and give 360. And then there's some equality. Equality means 2 times of something, 2 types of something, 360. That 2 will go with 360 as 180. Apna kaam to ban sakta hai. So shall we do our scribble work little bit out here? So if I do my scribble work, at that time I'll put this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my scribble work, okay? And what do I write? I write 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 360 degree. Okay, fine. Then my job should be to prove 1 plus 2 plus 3 should be 180. If I prove that, my job is done. Okay. Then in place of 1 and 4, I can substitute 1 and 4. I can substitute. Let me put 2 1. Instead of 1 and 4, I am putting 2 times of 1. 2 times of 1. Is this understood? Okay. Then if I look at 3 and 6, they are also equal. So I can write what? 2 times of 3. I can write this. And they have said that these two are lines given. These are the angle bisectors. So if these two are lines, 2 and 5 are also equal, vertically opposite. So can I write? I can write 2 times of 2. Oh, sorry. So it becomes 2 times of 2 is equal to 360. Now this 2 common taken, and with 360 it becomes 180. My job is done. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 180 degree. That's what I have to prove. Right? That's what I have to prove. That angle QOP. And how do I come to angle QOP? When I'll be doing it in rough, in fair manner, I will come as angle QOA plus angle, whatever you ended, you'll start with that. Angle AOD, then angle DOP. This thing is nothing but this. This is how you solve problem. First, do your scratch work. Once your scratch work is correct, after that, tick, 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 tick. So will you be able to write your steps now properly? Yes or no? So, and with every step, you are supposed to give an explanation. What do you write for this? This is equal to 360. Sum of all angles across a point is 360. Then immediately you will pair them up. Given. And for this, you will write what? VOA, vertically opposite. And then it comes up, final statement, proof. Can you write this? I have done the scratch work for you. You do the good work for yourself. Write that. And that part starts with what? That part will start with proof. That 1, 2, 3 will not work. I'm asking you to do this in proper manner. That 1, 2, 3 was our scratch work. So when you do you can't mutate the diagram so much. Or if you name them once as 1, 2, 3, then also fine. You can name them for once in your figure. And then you can write. Jaha, if you are lazy to write, upfront I'm saying, if you are lazy to write, then please understand grade 9 is analytical geometry intensive. You will have one chapter also on circles. You will have one chapter on lines and angles. In grade 10, you'll have one chapter on circles. You'll have one chapter on triangles. And in these chapters, you have to write. There is no second escape for you.
Math chapters in such a long way. Because circle chapter, I'm up and down and round.
They try to think that as much as you pamper kiddos, they will be very good. There's a third exercise on transversals only. 2 classes maximum, not more than that. These will be very kiddo problems. No one will give you such problems. Okay. Let's see one more. Okay. I'm making the diagram. You just have a look at it. Now scratch work. Every information will be there in the diagram itself. तुम दोनों को ना फिर से अलग बिठाने का टाइम हो गया है. Next week she is coming. Before that, you two will be split apart. No, automatically. This I've told. So our next class is tomorrow, right? So if tomorrow I'm making you sit separate, don't have faces of brinjal. चलो बताओ कितना होगा ये? In 30 seconds you should answer. 90, 30. How much? 120. 120 means this is 60. This is 60. 120. 30 seconds only. But did you understand? Rishika madam? समझ में आ गया नहीं? Geometry analytical is such a chapter, and considering current weather, if it rains still better. Have one bowl of namkeens, typically that fafda or murukku, and have your pencil, have one scratch pad, and solve the entire exercise in one go, and play some good music. In one go you should be done. Geometry is like solving puzzles. This is a puzzle. What did we do here? I think it took me more time to draw this diagram. Do you agree or not? जैसे ही I saw these symbols, na, in my mind it struck there is a parallel line and a transversal. You have to just hunt that transversal. But tak done. In fact, आप pencil से भी कर सकते हैं पूरे exercise को. पर our great people don't bring books only, right? So it might be very possible. Hang on. Now whatever I am talking, I am not recording it because every day I have to